Hello everyone, today I would like to talk about a fundamental period in human development, focusing specifically on stage 1, pregnancy, which marks the beginning of the first 1000 days of life. The first encompasses a period from conception until approximately 2 years of age, representing a critical window for human growth, development, and lifelong health. During this initial stage, the foundations of physical growth, cognitive development, immunity competence, and metabolic health are established. To understand this stage, we can imagine a model of a pregnant woman with a fetus connected to the placenta through the umbilical cord, highlighting the placenta has a very primary interface for nutrient transfers between the mother and fetus. Through this vital connection, the transfers of proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, vitamins, and minerals occurs. During pregnancy, maternal nutrition plays a crucial role in a fetal growth and development. An adequate intake of macronutrients and micronutrients is essential because it supports organ formation, like neurodevelopment and healthy metabolic regulation. Maternal undernutrition is nutrition deficiency or excessive calories intake might alter fetal development. This is where a fascinating concept comes in metabolic programming. Nutritional conditions during the fetal life can induce pregnancy, psychological and metabolic adaptations. Maternal nutritional alterations directly affects fetal growth and metabolic programming through epigenetic mechanisms that influence genes expressions without modifying DNA sequences. These epigenetic modifications can persist throughout life and contribute to disease susceptibility. The theory suggests that while the adaptations may be beneficial in the short term, when environmental conditions change later in the life, they may predispose individuals to obesity, type 2, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic non-communicable disease. Well, the pregnancy stage demonstrates that the early nutrition is not only important for the immediate growth and survival, but also serves as a powerful determination of health throughout the lifespan. Understanding the impact of this figure stage is essential because the developing strategies aimed at improving maternal and child health are reducing the burden of chronic disease worldwide.
Stage 2 birth. The birth section will represent the newborn exposure to the external environment. This stage will imply the importance of delivery mode, including vaginal birth and cesarean section, in the stage male of the infant microbiome. Topic represents in the vaginal delivery, cesarean section, initial microbiome colonization, and immune deployment.
Today I want to talk about the breastfeeding, one of the most important practices for the health of both mom and a baby. Breastfeeding means feeding a newborn with milk directly from the mother's breast. The World Health Organization recommends exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life and continuing it alongside solid food up to New Year's or beyond. But why is really important? First is nutrition value. Breast milk actually adapts to the baby needs. The first milk, it's called colostrum, is packed with antibiotics that strengthen the newborn's immune system. Beyond that, breast milk contains the perfect balance of proteins, fats, and vitamins for the health growth. When it becomes benefits for the baby, studies show that breast infants have um, lower risk of ear infection, respiratory illness, and diarrhea. It is also linked to reduced risk of diabetes type 2 and obesity in this child. Here is an interesting fact that I would like to give you. Breast milk contains living cells, including stem cells and white blood cells, something no other food can afford. In conclusion, breastfeeding isn't just an act of feeding, It's a gift of health, protection, and love for the lifestyle.
I want to talk about the complementary feeding, which usually begins around 6 months of age of the infant, when breast milk is no longer enough to meet all the nutritional infant needs. During this stage, different foods such as fruits, vegetables, grains, protein-rich foods are gradually introduced. This is important not only for providing nutrients, but also for helping the child to develop healthy eating habits, recognize different flavors and textures, and also regulate appetites. Approach such as baby-led feeding allow the baby to participate more actively in by feeding by herself, by himself, and eat solid foods. And also we have Bliss method that is a modified version that also emphasizes food but rich in iron and energy while reducing some risks associated by baby-led weaning. In this stage, it's important to mention the metabolic programming because the quality and the variety of foods introduced early in life can influence in food preference, growth, and eating behavior later in childhood. So, in our model, we have different groups of foods such as watermelon, fish, banana, rice, and broccoli, and these food represent how complementary feeding connects early nutrition with health ground and the future health.
Well, really, once a child moves past those early feeding stage, nutrition doesn't stop shaping their health. It just enters a new phase. During childhood, healthy eating habits combined with regular physical activity support proper growth, shaper cognitive development, and a stronger human system. This is where really the stage where everything learned earlier starts to show results. So, a child who's had good nutritional foundations tends to maintain a healthy body weight and is less likely to develop obesity down the line, down the rest of the time. So, this leads us into adulthood, where we finally see the full picture of that. All those years that we have of good nutrition from pregnancy through breastfeeding and into childhood come together to determine long-term health outcomes. Really is that. So adults who receive proper nutrition during those uh, first days generally face a lower risk of obesity. This really a good thing that a baby has breakfast is tends to lower the risk of obesity type 2, cardiovascular disease, and metabolic system is really strong and has less allergies than all of the rest of the kids that doesn't have breastfeeding. So, on the other hand, poor nutrition really, well, poor nutrition early in life can leave the body more vulnerable to the same chronic conditions later on. So really adulthood is the final chapter that reflects everything that came before it. Thank you.
Overall, the first 1000 days of life are a unique opportunity to influence a person's future health. Nutrition during pregnancy and the first 2 years of life does much more than super growth. It can shape metabolism, immune function, brain, and even the way the body responds to disease later in life. That means the factors such as maternal nutrition, breastfeeding, and the development of the good microbiota and appropriate complementary feeding can have a long-term consequence. Good nutrition during this period may help reduce the risk of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic conditions in adulthood. So, the main message of our project is that nutrition during the first 1000 days should be seen as an investment in lifelong health. By protecting nutrition from the very beginning of the life, we are not only helping the children to grow properly, we are also giving them a better chance of having a healthy future. Thank you.